The golden era of cars is between 2005 and 2010, but I would probably extend that to 2012, and the Volkswagen Golf R32 is a product of that era, one of the best sounded hot hatchbacks ever made. Packing 250 horsepower from its naturally aspirating engine, welcome to another episode of Living Legends, and today we're going to explore what made the R32 so special. The first thing that made this car so special is its engine, and this is where the R32 name came from. 32 meaning it's a 3.2 litre naturally aspirated V6. Oh, how do I love saying naturally aspirated. The R bit I'll explain later, but the power figures on this: 250 horsepower, 320 Newton meter torque, and a top speed of 155 miles per hour. And VW said when it came out it would do 0 to 60 time of 6.5 seconds, and we're going to put it to the test. Now this is a manual R32, but you can get them in automatic, and the 0 to 60 time does differ. Now in the DSG R32, 0 to 60 is around 6.2 seconds. This is around 6.5 seconds. So let's see how close we can get. Now on your screen now are the stats and figures on this car. So what we're going to do is turn this traction control off, put it in first gear. Don't think it's first. You can hold it though, let's go. We're going to get, it's quite nice, we're going to have to change again. 6.55, there you go. It's bang on the money. What can I say? That I don't really need to go again, because that just proves that this car does what it says in 2024. I wasn't going to do a second run, but I'm going to do it for you, Gareth, who's the owner of this beautiful R32, because I want to prove that this car can still do better than what it claimed 20 years after production. Almost 20 years old, what the hell. Alright, so come on. .31. We've done it. There you go, Gareth. You'll be happy. Back to the engine. Now this isn't your typical 60 degree or 90 degree V6. This is in fact 15 degrees, causing it very close to being an inline 6. And this is where the R comes from, because in Germany, R means an inline layout, causing it to be a VR6. Now, due to the fact of it being a 15 degree angle, it gave the R32 a very unique sound, which sounded something like this. Oh, bit more, come on. Wow, how good does that sound? And it sounds even better due to the fact it's got a Miltech upgraded exhaust. For me, this is one of the most perfect back ends ever. I think it's the best looking Golf from the rear end ever. It's just, I love how simple it is. I love the centralized exhaust as well. VW smashed it. Inside of the car, I love how simple it is, but yet you do get reminded that you are in something special with all the R touches here in the headrest, on the steering wheel here, and I love the fact you get a flat bottom steering wheel as well. The needles are blue as well. You've also got R on the carpets, and this little handle on the seats as well. Talking about seats, oh my God, are these adjustable? You'll struggle to get uncomfortable in these, and the steering as well. You can move that, it's all adjustable, goes in and out. The pedals are lovely and metal as well. And the coolest bit I love is that VW gave you a bottle opener from standard, and I'm really surprised that that's still there and someone hasn't nicked it, by the way. But in 2005 you did get heated seats, and what a luxury that is. But it just feels really spacious in here thanks to all the light coming in, obviously in the sunroof, and it works as well. But I'm not going to open in this weather because I'll get very wet. I have a little soft spot for VWs, but I think everyone secretly does. Take this car for example. Despite having a huge engine, it doesn't shout out and scream, "Wow, look at me," does it? No, it's still a very sophisticated car, and this is what I love about them. They're very true to themselves. Now, when this Golf was in production, it wasn't uncommon for the Golf to have a V6. Even the model before this, the Mark IV, you still have the R32 there. One of my favourites, by the way. But even before that, the Mark III, the original VR6, which came with the 2.8, my dad had one of them, by the way, but this, the Mark V, is the last Golf to ever feature a 6-cylinder engine, and for that reason, you should buy one. Golf production is coming to an end soon, unfortunately, and everyone's going to be saying, go and buy one before it ends. Sorry, the Golf to buy has been out for years, and I'm currently sat in it. And it makes it even better, it's got a manual gearbox to play with as well. And I suppose you've got an argument saying, well, the proper hot hatch Golf is the GTI when you date back to the original. And I'd agree with you. I'd have a GTI over an R. Not this generation, though. I'm talking Mark 7 onwards. Yes. But this car is from the best era ever from VW. You obviously have the R36 Passat, and them in estate form is one of the coolest looking estate cars ever, by the way. Check them out. And you obviously had this, the V6 Golf. And I think you can just slip in, because it ended production in 2005, the W8 Passat. We're definitely going to squeeze that one in, by the way. And then, going to the top of the tree, the biggest car, the Touareg, you had a V10 in it, the R50. So this is definitely from the era where VW was at its peak. Now the cabin does a great job of keeping everything refined and smooth, but if I was to be honest, it does a too good of a job. You want to feel and hear that engine, so what you do is just bring the window down, just get a sense of that VR6. I love the feel of a naturally aspirated engine. How can you not? Oh, and the sound as well. Woo! And the feel of a naturally aspirated engine as well is unmatched. It's just unreal. And I think with turbocharged cars, you become lazy because all you got to do is just drop it down and you're gone because you've got the torque of the turbo to kick you in. Whereas this, you really have to work for the power. And it keeps you more alive and it keeps you more entertained. You've got to keep it up in the revs to have the power, and it's just such a better feeling power delivery. It makes you smile more. And the throttle response is instant, look. Straight away, there's no lag, no waiting around for a turbo. Let it build up, change gear, ha-ha! Volkswagen combined the practicality of a hatchback, the performance and sound of a naturally aspirating V6 engine, all for an affordable price tag of £32,000 in 2005. Don't get me wrong, it's still a lot of money, but this car wasn't overpriced. It stayed true to its origins of being this affordable hatchback. The price point they're at now, though, is even more lucrative. You pick one up around 8 or 9 grand. That's for a good one. You really can get in one for about 5 or 6 grand, which is madness, and it sounds something like this. I don't know what this car competes with either. Like, you look at the B7 I was for from the same time, that had the W204, C63MG, E92, M3, very strong competitors. But when you look at this, maybe the Alfa Romeo Brera, 3.2 V6 again, but I'd still have this over that car. Sorry, Alfa fans. It's kind of in a class of its own, and that's what I love about it. Now, the R32 gave you a 4-motion system, which was mainly a front-wheel drive system. However, the system can send power to all 4 wheels via its Haldex system. Now, VW gave you 2 choices of gearbox. This one having the 6-speed manual gearbox, which is really nice. And you also had a DSG 7-speed automatic transmission. And if you ask me which one would you buy, well, it depends what you're going to be using it for. Daily, I'd probably buy the automatic. However, saying that, the gearbox is really nice to use. It's a bit, the throws are a bit long though, but it's really fluid. I'm happy with that. But if you're planning to buy one to put away, yeah, you know the choice, I'd tell you. Go and buy the manual. I have to say though, the car rides absolutely spot on. It's more refined than I think. It's such a smooth drive. It's so comfy. Really is a lovely cruiser. However though, put it into the corner and it comes alive. It's like a samosa. It's nice and smooth from the outside. Bite into it, and then it becomes spicy, your mouth comes alive, and that's what happens when you dip the clutch, put it into a corner, and this car just comes alive with that soundtrack as well. Oh, this is what we're missing from these new cars. Four-wheel drive system as well to pull you out. Oh, VW got it right. Do you know what? If you're thinking of buying one, go and do it. I'd much rather have your money in one of these than in the bank, because this is only going to go one way. But I'd like to say a massive thanks to Gareth for lending me this beautiful spec R32 today. Oh, that just reminds me how good these cars are. And I didn't realise, you know, I knew they were good, but they're better than you expect when you actually get behind the wheel of one. With that manual gearbox as well, I'd much rather this, because the connection you have with this car, with that VR6 engine, just takes it to another level with that gearbox. So if you're planning to buy one, buy the manual. Guys, leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel to make sure you don't miss out on any of our latest uploads, and we'll see you next week. Thank you, see you now.